stoves may amaze you with their numerous high-tech features. Used properly, they can serve you for years. Yet there is another stove in Russia you can't buy in any store, and its only drawback is that it won't fit in your kitchen.
To see it, we have to leave Moscow and travel more than 100 kilometers to the neighboring Kaluga region.
It could be a perfectly normal Russian masonry stove, if not for the size. It is 4 times bigger than any other Russian stove ever built. 11 meters high. Its creators say it's the biggest in the world. We are here to find that out. Stay tuned.
First, let's see what a traditionally built Russian brick stove is. Some say it is as old as Russian legends and fairy tales. The stove was such a vital part of any Russian household that it almost had a personality. And it's no wonder, as the Russian stove was used for cooking, baking, drying, heating and healing. It was literally the Russian family's everything, another family member.
Russian stove builders incorporated the seats and even the beds into the masonry stove. It never gets too hot, so it is very safe to be around it, or even sleep on it. Wake me up when this is over. Here it is again, the biggest Russian stove on earth. You still don't believe it? I promise you'll see it in all its splendor if you stay with us.
Cultural and educational center in one. That was the organizers' idea. That's why they built these traditional wooden houses here. Every one of them comes with a masonry stove inside, and each of the stoves is typical of a different Russian region.
This idea is very promising, especially if here we develop not only tourism, but also ethnography projects. It'll not only educate children, but also help people learn about their own roots.
It's about time we show you what we came here for. Here it goes, the moment of truth, the biggest stove ever built by Russians.
This fire is meant to symbolize the first stoking of a giant stove. And that's because it doesn't work in the way that normal-sized brick heaters do. It is built according to traditional techniques, but there is still a smaller heating stove inside. And most of the time, the record-sized stove will work as a museum. Dancing in the round is the good old way to celebrate any event. But who's behind all this fun? Here's the man.
They told me they wanted to build a big stove. I said, what kind of stove? A huge one, the size of a house. They asked me if I could do it, and I said I could. I don't know how many bricks we've used. Well, it's been tons. Have you seen a stove like this?
It's getting quiet here now. The organizers believe it's the calm before the tourism boom, and they hope more people will flock to see this stove, which doesn't look like any other in the world. Vladimir Andrianov, Russia Today.